That was by far one of the craziest, most exciting World Series games in a long time, and definitely one of the craziest endings you will ever see. In this video, I'm going to talk about my takeaways from pretty much Game 3 and Game 4 and how that sets up the rest of the series, because it is so important that now this is a 2-2 series. So very similar to the last video, but again, it's kind of a brand new series. Now it is a best of three. First person to win 2 games, you win the World Series, and the Dodgers, they really had this game won. I mean, we talked about the New York Giants having their game won against the Eagles Thursday night, but the Dodgers had this game won. They have Kenley Jansen on the mound. And I said this, I don't know what video it was, but I said I just have a funny feeling that, like, one of the reasons why I can't trust the Dodgers, I feel like Kenley Jansen is going to blow a big game somewhere, somehow, some way. And he did that. And I think by the Dodgers, it was a mistake to take Brusdar Graterol out of this game, because Graterol got, a couple big outs at the end. And I just felt like he had so much emotion. You saw him when he got off the mound, he was saying stuff in Spanish. I didn't actually hear it that much, so I couldn't translate. But when Graterol was getting all pumped up, it's like, okay, this guy has energy. And if he's getting outs, you might have to stick with Graterol, because we know Jansen has had his struggles in the postseason. He's had weird things happen. And this wasn't all on Kenley Jansen, but I do think that he is part of the problem. I mean, he already had 2 base runners on, and Phillips put the ball in play off Kenley Jansen. It was a 2-strike count, and Jansen couldn't put him away. So, I mean, that is the main thing. But then the bigger problem also was the defense by the Dodgers here at this last play of the game. Phillips hits the ball into center field. Chris Taylor, he gets so pumped up. I mean, there's so much adrenaline, so much emotion going on. You get nervous. How could you not be nervous? Like, how could your just heart not be racing and your brain's going a million places? You got Randy Arozarena flying around bases. Taylor's just trying to get that ball, get rid of it, because Arozarena was really moving. And once Taylor had misplayed that ball in center field, Arozarena was turning third. He was coming home. Arozarena was going so fast, almost like Daniel Jones. He falls down. And I think that him falling down confused Will Smith, because Smith was expecting a play at the plate. And I think if you're Will Smith, I mean, this goes for all sports, but be worried about the ball first. Will Smith was way too concerned at looking at the runner while the ball went right by his glove. You can't do that. Catch the ball first, because if Smith catches the ball, since Arozarena fell down, all he has to do is make the tag. That's it, because Arozarena knew he was going to be out once he fell down. He actually turned around. So the fact that Smith dropped that ball, it goes by him, allows Arozarena to score. So, I mean, you just can't have that many mistakes if you're the Dodgers and you're trying to win a World Series, because let's just say that, Arozarena, they have him in the pickle right there, in between third and home, they get him out. Now you have a tie game. So, I mean, things could still happen weird. I mean, it's a lot of ifs here, I know. But I'm just saying that, like, let's say Kenley Jansen struck Phillips out. The Dodgers have a 3-1 series lead. I'm saying Dodgers are going to win the series. But the fact that it's 2-2, it could go either way. And I think this is the kind of loss that could sink you if you're the Dodgers. It really can. I mean, something that is this devastating, this heartbreaking, this shocking. First of all, the fact that it was Phillips that gets the game-winning hit. I mean, if you're a Dodgers fan, you're breaking something in the house. You just have to. I mean, it must drive you wild, because this Dodgers team, series is not over yet. But we talked a lot. High expectations. Can they get the job done? You can't let stuff like this happen. You cannot let the Rays back in the series, because the fact that you beat Charlie Morton, that surprised me. I tweeted that. I really thought the Rays would win Game 3 and then lose Game 4. Ended up being the other way around. But the fact that it is a 2-2 series, again, brand new series, anything could happen. And this was such a wild game. There was a lot of offense, 8-7, but not only was it like 8-7, it was back and forth. It was like Dodgers take the lead, Rays take the lead, Dodgers take the lead, Rays take the lead, and everybody was stepping up. Brandon Lau, big home run. Justin Turner, again. Corey Seager, again. Randy Arozarena, again. You know what I mean? So we're seeing these very in particular stars continually stepping up for these certain teams. And Mookie Betts, another amazing play out in right field. What's new? You know what I mean? So we're seeing a lot of these same elements happen here. But then, I mean, the amount of pitchers used on both sides was really, really wide. I mean, for the Dodgers, they had to use like 7 pitchers. The Rays, they used a ton of pitchers, which I knew they would when starting Yarbrough. That's why I thought they were not going to be able to win. I just felt like, you know what, Julio Urias has been good in the postseason so far. Anytime the Rays started Yarbrough, it could go so many different ways, because they have to use a lot of pitchers. And I just think against this Dodgers offense, that isn't exactly a recipe for success. And it was looking like that was going to be the case until the Rays made that comeback in the 9th inning. So, I mean, the Rays Rays, they used even more pitchers than the Dodgers did. They emptied out their whole bullpen, but nobody really threw that many pitches. So, I mean, since this is the World Series and you have a day off on Monday, I can see the Rays using everybody. It's going to be curious to see who they end up starting, and this is Clayton Kershaw's game. I mean, if Kershaw does not perform here, that would be a really big problem for him, because we know a lot about his legacy, a lot about the Dodgers' legacy. Clayton Kershaw's got one in this game, because once it's 3-2, that's different, because now all you need is one win, and the other team has to win both games. So whoever wins Game 5 probably wins the series. And I don't know who's starting for the Rays yet. It could be Glass now. It could be Snell. I mean, we'll see what they end up choosing. I have a funny feeling it's going to be Glass now. I don't know why. I just get that feeling. That's probably who it's going to be. But we will see, once it is determined. And I just think that so far, this definitely has been a great World Series. And like I said, you're seeing a lot of these guys step up. And you know what? Randy Arozarena, the way he was treated late in this game in the 9th inning, he got 3 hits, and he drew the walk. And Kenley Jansen, he definitely was afraid to pitch to him. He was trying to avoid him. And I personally thought that the fact that Phillips was batting after Arozarena, who's a guy that had very little playing time, not a big-time offensive threat. He was out there for defensive purposes, and that's one of the things I did not like on the part of Kevin Cash, was bringing Phillips in because of that kind of predicament. The fact that Phillips could have been the difference between winning and losing the World Series, that can't happen. That's not the guy you want at the plate. I mean, I think the Rays' outfield defense is good enough to the point where you don't have to take an outfielder out and put Phillips into the game. I don't know why the Dodgers didn't intentionally walk Arozarena to begin with. It ended up not mattering because they walked him, and Phillips just came through. And I just think that if you're the Dodgers, it's just, again, so devastating because you lost this game in multiple ways. You lost it in pitching, and you lost it in defense. And that's really, really frustrating. And you know what? Both these teams, they stranded their fair share of runners, and particularly the Dodgers, because the Dodgers had 15 hits, and they had the 7 runs. That's not good, because when you get that many base runners, you would like to score a little more, and you would think that 7 is enough. Obviously, it wasn't. Tampa Bay's offense came to play today, which is surprising because in the very last game, their offense was not good at all. Walker Buehler had a very good game. Charlie Morton had a disappointing game. I tweeted about that because Charlie Morton is a guy that I have such high expectations for, especially in the postseason, because he has had such good recent postseason success, especially in this year's postseason. I just figured that he was going to do it again, but he didn't. You know what I mean? That's why you play the games, because you know what? I really thought, like I said, that Rays would win Game 3, Dodgers would win Game 4, and it was the other way around. So now, again, just anything can happen. It is really, really exciting, and definitely looking forward to making more videos about it. So if you guys like this video, make sure to leave a like, comment what if you thought about the World Series so far. What is your prediction? I think these last few games are going to go. Subscribe to keep up with all the videos coming out on the channel. And until the next one, be safe, be smart, be healthy, and have a good one.